38-year-old Katrina shares her deaf world with her husband Joseph.
I can't explain really about what I can hear. Like the dog barking, low-pitched sounds, I can hear that. I couldn't hear like the smoke alarm, I couldn't hear high-pitched sounds.
A photography student, she's 8 months pregnant with her third child and profoundly deaf.
I use a hearing aid. There it is. If I take it out, I can't hear one word at all.
Joseph is an IT student. He became deaf as a result of a childhood illness. The couple have been married for 10 years.
Katrina, in 3 words, is honest, caring, and sexy. Hey!
Katrina already had a son, Parik, who's now 15. And together, she and Joseph have a daughter, Kayla, who's 11. Both children have full hearing and they communicate using sign language, speech and lip reading.
They taught me sign language when I was really little, so I've grown up to learn it.
Katrina's deafness is genetic but can skip generations. She and her sister were both born deaf into a family with full hearing.
I didn't feel totally isolated because we could communicate with each other, but also at the same time I didn't feel fully included in family life. For example, music, we weren't accessing music. TV, over the Christmas period, there was no subtitles in them days. So everybody else was laughing and enjoying themselves, and me and my sister was just sat there watching the TV with no access to the information that was going on. That's when I realised we were different from other people.
Over the last few weeks, Katrina has begun to wonder whether this baby could be different too.
Because it's not moving, it's not recognised, it's not moving to sounds. Maybe the baby's lazy, I don't know. But for me, as a mother, I'm thinking maybe the baby's deaf, I don't know.
With 3 weeks to go until her due date, Katrina and Joseph are deciding how to decorate the baby's bedroom.
Do you want those in frames as well?
We need blackout blinds as well for the room.
So that's it? So that means we can put away the whip now? Is that right? To be honest, having another baby wasn't planned. It was a surprise. But we don't regret it at all. We're really happy about it, of course.
The couple know the difficulties deafness can bring, and the prospect of their child being deaf is causing them concern.
I was born hearing. I became deaf, I think, when I was about 4. Katrina was born deaf, so there's a possibility of genetic connection there.
I think it's natural for me, because I have 2 hearing children, and I've had 2 hearing children for so long, I just can't imagine what it would be like if our child was deaf. I think it would impact us because of our families, because we want them to be able to communicate with their grandchild the same way that they communicated with our hearing children.
Because we know what we went through growing up, we know it's not easy. It's difficult finding a job. Education can be difficult. If our child was deaf, they would have these issues.
Katrina and Joseph will have no way of knowing if their child can hear until it's born in just a few weeks' time. Pregnancy can bring surprises, even second or third time round. One mum has been battling to keep her family life on track ever since she discovered she was expecting.
Mummy, don't go to sleep.
30-year-old Shiloh is 7 months pregnant with her 4th child. This time round is different to anything she's ever experienced before.
Mom, can I watch? Mommy.
There's just nothing I can do about it. When I'm exhausted, I'm exhausted. When I'm tired, I need to sleep. And there's been days where I have sleep attacks and I sleep for 2 days straight.
2 years ago, during investigations into an ongoing chronic pain condition, Shiloh was diagnosed with narcolepsy.
I was shocked to find out that I had narcolepsy because I knew nothing about it. I only knew what I seen on TV, which was people fall asleep randomly standing up.
Narcolepsy is caused by a lack of a chemical nerve transmitter called hypocretin. And quite simply, the nerves don't work, the muscles don't work properly, and you can't stay awake.
For Shiloh, life used to be very different. As well as looking after her kids, she had a high-pressure job as a social worker. She just met partner Jeff when her symptoms started to develop.
It's been a long time since we were up here.
He's seen the impact narcolepsy has had.
Back when I first met Shiloh, she was very energetic, a lot of fun. We came out here hiking for our first dates. Then we brought the kids back a couple times and hiked all around, and she definitely had a lot more energy than what she does now, a lot more.
We were just dating right before I got diagnosed, and then, he's taken on 3 kids that aren't his, and I had a lot of health problems, and he stayed with me through all of it.
Narcolepsy affects just 1 in 3,000 people. There's no known cure, but patients can successfully manage their symptoms with the right medication.
Very often, narcolepsy is treated by using drugs, and these may be stimulants, like amphetamine-type drugs, during the day to keep you awake, and then sedatives, sleeping tablets at night to help you sleep.
Shiloh spent an exhausting year finding a combination of drugs that would let her lead as normal a life as possible.
It took a few different medications and trial and error and everything to figure out what worked for me, and then when I finally found something that worked, I got pregnant.
Although unplanned, Shiloh and Jeff are thrilled to be expecting a little boy. But worried about the impact of her medication on her baby, Shiloh's made a dramatic choice.
I knew the decision to come off medication would be tough, but I did it for my baby.
Once more, she's at the mercy of full-blown narcolepsy.
Get your shoes on and then come and eat breakfast. Okay.
With Shiloh sleeping up to 20 hours a day, Jeff's taken on more of the family chores.
Shiloh's still in bed, so it usually takes her a little bit to get up and going.
He gets the older kids ready for school before working a 10-hour shift as a retail manager.
The hardest part is not feeling like I'm a good enough mom. There's a lot of guilt there. I wish that there was more I could do, or more that we could do as a family, just more time in general spent with my kids instead of sleeping.
Shiloh sleeps while the kids are out at school. But sets an alarm for when they get back.
Do you guys have homework? What'd you do at school?
She manages a couple of hours awake before Jeff returns to take over again.
It is hard because I'd like to do things at times, but I understand too that, it's out of her control, so that's not fair if I get upset or anything like that. Okay, pick your movie.
For now, family life's a struggle, but Shiloh's confident she's doing the right thing for everyone.
They are going to get what they kept asking me for. They kept asking me for a baby brother, and they're finally going to get it, and they'll get mom back.
Shiloh plans to restart her medication as soon as the baby is born. But she has a new concern. She wants to breastfeed and is worried her stimulants could be harmful in her milk.
I guess I'm hoping that I can continue to take the medication for the narcolepsy while I'm nursing, and that will help me better stay awake with my kids.
So she's made an appointment with her sleep consultant to ask for his advice.
How's the pregnancy going?
I've slept most of it away.
No medications, so...
I just sleep. And sleep. And sleep.
And sleep. And sleep.
Sleep. Yeah. So sleeping 20 hours a day is completely normal being off medication.
Unfortunately, yeah. It's not normal.
I mean, normal
But it's
for a
typical
person with narcolepsy.
For a person with narcolepsy, yes.
Okay.
Shiloh will continue to be sleepy for the remainder of her pregnancy. Typically, the last trimester is the hardest on moms during pregnancy, so she'll be more fatigued and perhaps even more sleepy than she has been, although hard to imagine being more sleepy than sleeping 20 hours per day.
So I had some questions about after pregnancy,
Yes.
while nursing. What are my options to be able to stay awake and nurse?
When you're nursing, you're still facing the same problem.
So
giving you some
stimulants are a no?
Because you're using the stimulus in the daytime, it's really not a good idea to give a little newborn stimulants. How long do you plan to breastfeed?
12 months at least.
Okay. So you got a long haul still ahead of you.
Yeah,
Good for
that was
you.
before I heard the news, but no.
Good for you.
12 months.
That's awesome.
I'm disappointed to know that I have to wait until I'm done nursing to feel normal, well, somewhat normal again. I gotta stop yawning. I am feeling pretty tired. I'm ready for a nap. I will probably sleep in the car ride home.
Come on, you have to open up big. Come on.
After months of planning and preparation, mums Deborah and Kristen are finally able to begin feeding their new arrivals.
He's eating now.
Is he?
Yes.
We survived one night with babies breastfeeding, which is wonderful.
Triplets Phoenix and her brothers Tyrus and Draven were born yesterday by caesarean section at 35 weeks. Though healthy and over 4 pounds, they're still 5 weeks premature and vulnerable.
Premature babies have to be watched very closely for apnea, which is stopping breathing, for maintaining their temperature, especially when they get preoccupied with something else like feeding. Glucose levels, sugar levels in their blood are much more fluctuant when they're very small.
Deborah's convinced the best start for the triplets is breast milk.
We're going to make a concerted effort to get them sort of on a schedule, which would mean 2 get nursed and 1 is fed breast milk in a bottle. I can actually do that because I can nurse 2 babies and feed 1 with a bottle when she's not home. So that's the goal, and they would be on a 2 or 3 hour schedule.
Throughout her pregnancy, Deborah battled to eat enough as a result of gastric bypass surgery. There was a danger she wouldn't be able to produce any milk at all, so wife Kristen made an amazing offer of help.
I decided to breastfeed the triplets because it's beneficial to them health-wise. They just get more from it than regular formula.
Breast milk, in some cases, is the difference between life and death for preemies.
Kristen started taking hormones to trick her body into thinking she was pregnant too. Though there was no guarantee it would work, 6 weeks ago she was able to start pumping.
Got some.
And stockpiling.
3 babies eat a lot. Even if they're not big eaters, they still eat a lot because there's 3 of them. So we will save every drop.
By the time the babies were born, there were 10 litres in the bank.
This is Draven. He's doing pretty good. He's sleeping right now.
When they reach a week old, the triplets should be able to drink over 2 litres a day between them, so Deborah and Kristen need every drop.
So I'm pumping and breastfeeding, so Phoenix didn't want to nurse right now, so I am pumping instead. And then usually after I nurse them, I pump to make sure I can get whatever else is left.
Even after one night, it's already clear the routine is relentless.
So with 3 babies, it can take from 5 minutes to 35, 45 minutes to feed them. And then everyone likes to poop while they're being fed, and then that takes another 20 minutes to change them. So essentially from yesterday until 3 o'clock this morning, somebody was always being fed or pooping.
In Utah, Shiloh has just 6 weeks to her due date. But first, she has youngest daughter Zara's 5th birthday to celebrate.
This one? Open that one.
Yeah, it's not gonna be in the way. Mickey Mouse.
Despite having no medication to fend off her narcolepsy, She's determined to give her daughter the best party she can.
Hey, Polly's there. Stop. Okay, dog. Polly, let's see how big it is. Wow! Yes, you got a eye. Thank you.
Dishes. That's the biggest smile ever.
I just feel overwhelmed and even more exhausted than I was before I got home.
Do you make the wish?
One more.
As her bump becomes heavier, Shiloh's tiredness is getting worse.
My body is exhausted. My body is physically exhausted. I can feel my brain slowing down.
I want to play with this. Cool. I want to play with this first.
After an hour and a half, Shiloh finally has to take her leave.
That's what Grandma gives her.
Alongside the narcolepsy, she's fighting a second battle. Shiloh also has a chronic condition called fibromyalgia, which means she's frequently in severe pain too.
For me, it makes my whole body hurt all the time. I always feel like I have the flu, like body aches.
Fibromyalgia is characterized by severe pain all over the body in various groups of muscles. It's often associated with sleep disturbance, tiredness, fatigue, irritable bowel syndrome, anxiety, and other conditions.
Shiloh has been on strong opiate-based painkillers for the last 4 years. On her doctor's advice, she's still taking them, but has reduced them to the lowest level she can.
If you stop medication without doctor's orders or without speaking to your doctor, it can cause miscarriage because your body's already used to that. It can cause a lot of problems.
But continuing the drug still has risks.
Sometimes babies born to mothers who've themselves been dependent on strong painkillers during pregnancy are born themselves dependent on these painkillers.
She's, really worried about how long that our son will have to stay in the hospital to be monitored to make sure that he's not going to have any withdrawals or anything like that from the medications that, she's on for her pain.
In Pennsylvania, just 4 days after being released from hospital, Deborah and Kristen's smallest triplet, Draven, has become ill.
When we arrived at the ER, they found that his body temperature was like 96.0, which is way too low for an infant, and his sugar was at 36, which is also very low. Some of those symptoms can be because of infection, so they had to rule out an infection or meningitis, and we haven't had that ruled out yet.
The only way to do a definitive test for meningitis and other infections is to take fluid from Draven's spine.
Our poor little baby had to have a spinal tap and IVs and all kinds of things that a tiny little baby shouldn't. It might have been the scariest days of my entire life, ever. Like, emotionally exhausting.
Born 5 weeks premature, Draven doesn't have the fat stores he would at full term. He needs calories fast.
He's been breastfeeding at the breast, and it's actually really exhausting for tiny little babies. So although he was doing it and latching well and getting some nutrients, he was expending more energy and calories than he was taking in, so he wasn't gaining weight. So right now, luckily Kristen has pumped, and we have a lot of frozen milk, and he gets it in a bottle, an easy bottle.
Kristen's stockpile of milk is proving invaluable, but the stress of juggling the needs of the triplets and big brother Damien is taking its toll.
I've been taking care of the 4-year-old and the other 2 babies at home with help from my friend to help me with the nighttime feedings. It's been rough. Torn between staying here and, going home and seeing the other babies.
In Harrogate, Katrina is 2 weeks away from her due date and discovering whether her baby is deaf too. But she and husband Joseph have had concerning news.
Last week they said that the baby's head was further back and the placenta was actually underneath. And that's really dangerous. So today they will tell me where the baby's head is in regards to where the placenta is. And then they'll tell me if I'll have a cesarean or not.
A low-lying placenta, or placenta previa, is dangerous because it blocks the baby's exit through the birth canal, and in a natural delivery, it can cause excessive bleeding. Today, they have a second scan to determine if the problem is serious enough for Katrina to need a cesarean. Neither of her older children were delivered by C-section, and Katrina's worried about going through the operation as a deaf mum. Katrina will need an interpreter at the birth to communicate using sign language and facial expressions. She's worried that during a C-section, surgical masks will leave her unable to lip read and unsure of what's going on.
Hi, Katrina, should we go in for your scan?
When they measured the placenta, they measured the end part of the placenta, and it's 5 centimetres away from the internal os. So that is good.
So what does that mean?
It means that now you can have a normal delivery.
Ah, that's fantastic. Really happy, over the moon. I think my children will be really happy as well. You know, they've been really quite worried. My daughter's been worried. She's sort of like been thinking that they're going to cut mother open, but you know.
But for both of us now, we know that that's not going to happen. Now it's just a waiting game, you know? Waiting for little one to turn up.
Well, we need to let our interpreter know now because, you know, we've got to, she'll be on call.
So it could be at any time.
After 3 traumatic days in hospital, Deborah and Draven are finally back at home with the rest of the family.
Scariest days of my life. We don't want to go there. I seriously think I'm a little bit traumatized, and I don't mean that sarcastically, because when Tyrus didn't want to wake up during the night to eat, I got literally hysterical in the middle of the night because Tyrus wouldn't eat. You know, I was like, I can't go back there, I can't do that again.
Now Draven is home. The pressure to get him to feed properly and put on weight is greater than ever.
Do you want to have some? He gets breast milk in a bottle. He still definitely has trouble eating. We have trouble keeping him awake to eat. Like right now, if you look at him, he's holding onto the bottle, but he's not eating. We always have to watch right here to see. There he goes. Now he's swallowing. He's very high maintenance.
Kristen is already back at work as a speech therapist. She drives between appointments, stopping every 3 hours to maintain supplies.
The pumping is pretty demanding and time-consuming with my schedule. If I only have like 10 or 15 minutes between a client, I'll hook up in a lot and then I will drive to my destination because I don't have time to sit and pump.
After a 10-hour day, Kristen's home to help Deborah again.
Oh, now you did it.
Even with 2 mums on the job, it's a challenge to keep up with demand.
We did the math ounce-wise, and it seems like Kristen can feed a baby and a half every day from her supply. I just, as of yesterday or the day before, have been able to feed Phoenix. Combined, we feed 2.5 babies. So that means we will probably have depleted our freezer stock by day number 14.
For now, even getting everyone up to bed takes precision teamwork.
She's awake. Hi, Phoenix. What are you doing? I'm getting this stuff ready for the night. She's letting dogs out. Those are our carriers ready for our doctor's appointment tomorrow, and the diaper bag that's ready. And now
I fill this container with all of the bottles for the evening. That's a 12 o'clock feeding and a 3 a.m. feeding, 6 a.m. and extra set in case someone decides they're starving. Baby 1 going up was actually the second baby born. Very cute. Baby 2. Also very cute. Baby 3. It smells like poo. Oh, baby 3 needs a poo change?
I think so.
Oh boy.
Bringing babies into the world can be an exhausting and exhilarating experience, and completely unique for every woman that goes through it. Seven days before her due date, Katrina has gone into labour.
Nice big breath. Big breath, chin on your chest and push right into your bum like you're really, really constipated.
So far, it's the natural birth she hoped for, with a midwife and an interpreter at her side.
Is it getting more uncomfortable down below now? Yeah. Katrina, when you're pushing, what we want you to do is try get as many pushes as you can for each contraction. So what we want, big push, quick breath, big push again, yeah? You can. You're doing brilliant. What was that?
Maybe it's a £10 baby. Maybe it's a £10 baby.
I'm just going to ask Louise to come in, one of the other midwives, just to give us a hand with pushing.
Finally, after 15 hours of labour, a senior midwife is called in.
Go on. Again. Go on.
That's really painful. It's really painful.
Do it well.
How much of the baby can you see?
Push. You can. Push.
Good girl. Good daddy.
Freedom.
No, Taylor.
There's no words to express how I feel. You know, she's just out of the world. She's beautiful.
Lucky around.
Yeah.
Before they leave the hospital, their baby will have the standard newborn hearing check, and Katrina's question will be answered. In Utah, Shiloh's wait is nearly over too.
I am 39 weeks today, and so ready to be done being pregnant. I'm so uncomfortable. I'm huge. I've been having contractions for days now, but they aren't strong enough to go into the hospital, so I'm very irritable and uncomfortable.
As her pregnancy has progressed, Shiloh's endurance has been pushed to the brink.
Being at the end of pregnancy, I've been sleeping a lot more in the day, and it's been really uncontrollable. Like, I cannot stay awake no matter how hard I try. And I think that has a lot to do with being bigger, being in pain, being uncomfortable. So almost every pregnant woman I know at the end is just like, get this kid out of me, and I'm feeling that way now.
In Pennsylvania, it's been another tough night.
It was rough, like it always is. I'm not sure how long or when, but I'm pretty sure I slept because Kristen showed up in the room, which means I did not have things under control, apparently.
What time is it?
It's 7. Ugh, I know.
But the triplets are now 2 weeks old, and at their latest checkup, all 3 had put on weight.
What time did he eat?
4.
Kristen's mum is on hand to help as well.
Can you give it to me? If you want him, I can put him in there.
I'll take him.
The couple have had to make one big change to their plans. 3 hungry mouths have almost emptied the freezer.
It will be gone in a day. Phoenix, I'll be with you in a minute.
On doctors' advice, they've decided to supplement what they have.
We'll use an organic formula, and we'll do half breast milk, half formula for the feedings. It's lumpy still. Gross. No. That's disgusting. It's all lumpy. And I poured it in with the breast milk, and I can't give him that. So we wasted an ounce. I hate formula. Oh, it's so sticky and disgusting. We both kind of cringe that we have to do some formula, but we have to be realistic about things at this point.
But it's a minor setback compared to what the mums have overcome. Deborah and Kristen are finally able to focus on being one large family.
All right, baby, I'm coming. Right? Are you also waking up? How will we do this? Okay, baby. Okay. Come here, love.
That sounds like one of Cole's boys.
Yeah, here. Please don't eat his hat.
Going into the pregnancy, Deborah worried about whether she'd be able to regain her post-gastric bypass figure.
I don't think I gained too much weight from the pregnancy. I definitely have to lose like 25 pounds or so, but I don't think that's terrible for having triplets. Okay, baby number 1. Yeah, you actually are baby number 1. There you go. Baby number 2. I know. You know, I carried 3 babies who, for the most part, with the exception of Draven having his little setback, they're healthy and they're gaining weight. They're all, in 2 weeks, they're all above their birth weight, and that's the goal. So, like, I'm not that concerned about my body image at this point. I'm sure there will be a point where I do care about it, but that's just not right now.
In Yorkshire, Katrina and Joseph have called their baby Seora. She's now 12 hours old and ready for the newborn hearing test. Katrina is choosing not to be present and is going for a shower.
A parent may be very anxious about the outcome of the scream and may not actually want to be part of that and would just like to be informed of the result at the end of the screening process. So all I'm wanting to do this afternoon is just pop a tiny little earpiece like that in the ear. Sends lots of soft little clicking sounds into baby's ear, which is just picking up a response from actually inside the ear and feeding it back into a little microphone in the earpiece and into the equipment to give us a reading. Okay?
Baby needs to get away. Does the baby need to be awake?
No, nice and asleep if possible. If the parents have a hearing loss, then it is a very mixed emotion as to whether they're baby will be the same as them without any hearing, or potentially whether the child has full hearing and will actually grow up in a slightly different world than they are currently living in. I'll just turn baby round and we'll do the right ear now. I had a lovely clear response in both ears. So this is telling us that there's unlikely to be any form of hearing loss at this stage. That's lovely. Thank you very much. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Katrina and Joseph were concerned that their family dynamic might change with a first deaf child. With Siora's hearing in no doubt, they can relax and enjoy their new arrival. Baby Siora has been home for 3 weeks.
That sign is a very simple sign for milk. I know she starts recognizing signs because before she starts breastfeeding, she'll use that sign. And so Siora will start licking her lips and anticipating. She understands. She can't sign it herself, but she understands that she's about to be fed.
I remember when I was pregnant with Siora and they thought she might be deaf. And when she was born, she didn't really react to noise. Do I regret saying that? No, not at all. Every mother has their own worries. And that was my worry, that she might be deaf.
I know she's definitely hearing because if there's a sudden noise, she will jump.
For now, Siora sleeps by Katrina and Joseph's bed. Even so, Katrina needs help to hear her cry.
This is our baby monitor. It vibrates if she cries. We have another part that attaches to it that vibrates as well, which goes under our pillow. What I love about her is her hair on her ears. So that at the moment, her sign name is Siora. So I call her my little elf. It's just so nice to be a mother again. But this is the last time I will have a baby. But it's so nice to be a mother again.
In Utah, Shiloh's wait is finally over.
Jackson is here. He came at 11:08 a.m. on December 31st. He weighs 8 pounds, 3 ounces. And mom and baby are both doing great. Yeah, I'm glad that's over with.
But mother and baby were only discharged after 4 days' observation in hospital. At 2 days old, Jackson started to show classic signs of neonatal abstinence syndrome. Although Shiloh had reduced her pain medication, her baby had symptoms of withdrawal from the opiates they contained.
He had a really bad high-pitched cry, and he was very hard to calm down, and he was very stiff, like he kept his arms up here. It was very hard to watch him go through that. I wouldn't wish it upon any mother or any baby.
Doctors watched him closely in case he needed intensive care and opiate substitute medication.
I didn't want him to go to the NICU and have to get medication, because then that would just be another long process that he would have to wean off of again.
But Jackson received enough of Shiloh's medication through her breast milk to avoid chronic withdrawal and was discharged earlier than expected.
I have to make sure I continue my pain medication, because if I was to stop, then he wouldn't be getting the little bit he does get through my breast milk, and then he could have the withdrawal symptoms again if he wasn't getting it from me.
Jackson's now doing well, and will suffer no long-term effects.
1, 2, 3.
Shiloh knew this pregnancy would be unlike any other. But unexpectedly, she's getting her family life back far sooner than she thought.
9. Who won?
Oops, I didn't mean to. I have 9 too, so it's a tie. Since having him, I don't think the narcolepsy is that bad. I haven't really needed many naps. You have to push it till you hear the click.
She's got more energy. She's up and doing stuff. I don't see the constant yawning. She just looks a lot better through my eyes as far as, dealing with the narcolepsy, and it looks like it's dormant.
Mom, after him, can I have a turn?
Of course.
And Shiloh's family have what they all wanted too.
You think we should have another baby?
Yeah!
Oh, it was definitely worth it. I wouldn't change it for anything. I couldn't imagine now life without Jackson.